Hi there, this is Georgia Stathis with another comment about the eclipse in February 17th. We're going to have a new moon, always representing new beginnings, but it's the first one that we've had in the sign of Aquarius in about almost 19 years. And so the shift that's going to be taking place between February of 2026, August of 2026, is that the eclipses are going to begin to move into Aquarius and Leo. And the way the eclipses work, and I'll be doing a workshop on this for the Boston NCGR February 28th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're interested in signing up for that, by the way, you can go to starcycles.com and look under lectures and events for a sign-up registration. I love eclipses because they're very predictable. We use them in the real estate market, we use them in the financial markets, and we use them in fashion cycles, and we use them in personal cycles because they're very predictable. Every 18.6 to 19 years, they come back to the same spot. Sometimes it's a little off, but it's pretty much like a clock. And so the way the eclipses work is that they run with the moon's nodes, the lunar north node, the moon's lunar south node. And where the north node, moon lunar north node is moving through your chart, depending on what your chart is where you're being asked to take risks. It's kind of like the ancient Chinese said there was a dragon in the sky, and the dragon was eating the sun, had to eat the sun. And why did he have to eat the sun? Because he had to grow, he had to shed skin, he had to become something new. And so where the lunar north node is moving is going to be, it's going to start in Aquarius around July, but the eclipse in February is in Aquarius. And Aquarius is what? Aquarius is groups. Aquarius is communities. Aquarius is out-of-the-box thinking. Aquarius is revolution because it's ruled by Uranus. Aquarius can be extreme. It can also be public information, and it can be very unique kinds of public information, but it does represent strength in numbers. And we're actually starting to see that in the news even before this is happening. And as this cycle continues through the summer, through all of 2027, we will probably be seeing more and more of this type of activity. And if you go back historically and check it, you'll see that there's been a lot of like world events where many people came together to make changes. And for you personally, this could have a lot to do with how you are in your community. Do you like the community you're involved in? Do you think you need to get a new community? Maybe the community you've outgrown it, and maybe it's time to start thinking about a different community or a different way that you deal with the current community. There'll be a lot more speaking up because people will have more nerve about speaking about what they really feel. And rather than anger, it's how you feel. Where the tail of the dragon is going, which is where the fire always came out after the dragon did his little shedding skin thing, is going to be going through Leo starting around late July. It's an interesting combination because Leo is about the ego. It's all about me from its most negative perspective. If you've got the tail of the dragon moving through there, this does suggest that moving away from individual egos with the head of the dragon moving through Aquarius, this is about letting go of the individual ego and working together as a team, working together in groups to make for more change on a broader scale. So it's just something to think about. You might want to go back in time and think about what you were doing about 18 to 19 years ago, which would have been somewhere around 2007 and 2008. What changes were you making in your life? Or rather, what changes were happening that changed your life? Because that's the other thing about the first eclipse in Aquarius in mid-February, with Uranus right there to hit it, is you could be in the right place at the right time if you're ready to make a change. You know, it's an interesting thing about Aquarius energy, especially when Uranus is around it, is that I think there's what I'm trying to say is there's an old saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's the best way to put this. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so there is an opportunity for being in the right place at the right time, either somewhere around the middle of February, and sometimes eclipses don't activate for about 90 days later, which in this case would be around mid-May of this year, somewhere around mid-May to the end of May. But maybe do a little tracking. Go back every 18.6 to 19 years in your life. Go back to 2007. Go back to about 19 years before that. Go back every 19 years. What changes were happening then? And the other part of it is, what changes did you make that you liked, but that you couldn't complete? Because that's the other thing about these eclipses. They're sort of like a DNA strand, What you didn't finish 18 to 19 years ago, you get a chance to not only revisit it, but to make it better, to improve it, because hopefully you're more mature. Hopefully now you have more brains. Hopefully now you have more experience. And so it's also an evolutionary process that we go through. So I just wanted to share that. It's kind of an exciting time. March 3rd is I think it's March 3rd, there's going to be a full moon. Those are big. And it's a total lunar eclipse. That's more of an emotional roto-rooter for the planet, for people. But the one that's coming up on February 17th, and I do believe it is February 17th, yes, on the East Coast around 7 o'clock in the morning at 28 Aquarius, 49 minutes, also happens to fall in the Libra, however you choose to call it, section of Aquarius. So people who you align with may very definitely be required, which I think is a successful alliance, to share the values you have. And so I think parsing out if people share your values or don't is part of the requirement if you're going to be joining a group or being involved in an organization that is going to move you forward in terms of what you envision for your life. So with that said, this is Georgia Stathis at starcycles.com. Thank you, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.